I've made a little short list here of players I think for captains, right? And to your point, none of them you go, oh yeah, he would be a natural replacement for Farrell. But let me run my little list past you, and then let's see if there's anybody you want to add to that list, and maybe we can just knock them off, or talk them up. And then I've got a little surprise from left field, but I'm going to save that for the end. All right.
Ooh. Bottom of the Christmas stocking.
Bottom of the Christmas stocking. It's a teaser. So this is my short list, and some of them won't be valid, but we'll come on to why. So I think the three players who would be the most likely candidates: number 1, Tom Curry; number 2, Jamie George; number 3, Ellis Genge. Then I've got a little clump of could do the job. Perhaps
hang on.
fall so naturally.
Should we talk about those three quick?
Yeah.
Should we talk
about, okay, let's do that. So,
because Tom Curry can't say fit.
No, well, he's injured at the moment. So if we're talking about a captain just to replace Farrell for the Six Nations, assuming he comes back after the Six Nations, I think that immediately rules Curry out. I think he's the most natural candidate, but he's not available through fitness.
I would agree. He probably is the most natural. He's off. Jamie George. Yeah. I just don't think he's a leader. I think he's a top bloke, a geezer, but I don't think he's someone who is truly going to give fear to players when they're like not picking up their slack, and also be the heart of encouragement. I don't think I think people look up to him. I'm not trying to take away much from him here, actually, but it sounds like I am. I don't think he's the biggest figure in that team.
So, two things I'd say there. He is pretty big. And number two, I think he is like the social leader.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Give him the band.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just look at people's attributes and what they do well, and that's one of the things he does well. But yeah, I think he's the social leader. He kind of glues people together as a community, and that wouldn't necessarily make a good captain. And they'd miss that element that he brings to it then.
Yeah, he's got too much on his shoulders.
Yeah. And then the third one is his front row partner, sometimes, Ellis Genge.
Look, I'm going to breeze past this one pretty quickly. No, it can't be Genge.
No?
He's not doing it for club. He hasn't really been doing it for country fully. And again,
are you talking about performance there? Not performing for club and country yet.
Yeah. And I think he is a rallier. I think he gets troops going. But in a sense, I think you are looking, whoever becomes the captain for the Six Nations is effectively going to become co-captain and or captain after Farrell leaves. That is what's happening.
Or at least what should happen. That they should be trying to tee that up yet.
And
with the exception of Tom Curry, who might come in. Sorry, interrupting you there.
No. But it's a good point. It's exactly it, right? But so if Tom Curry's in there, you are teeing someone up, and I don't think Genge has the throttle. And I don't think it's like a Jamie George. I think he's a social leader, but I don't think he's like a hardcore speaking to Borthwick, discussing tactics, discussing the team, relying on that guy sort of leader. Well, I think Curry is. I think Curry's got that sort of slightly singular, almost from the outside, it seems a little bit kind of like brain fog guy, like where it's just straight ahead, just fog lights on, just like think about nothing else. Well, I feel like the other guys are always kind of like slightly floating around. They've got other people to talk about, the other things to do.
Right. Okay. So I'm just going to go against your thinking here with Genge for two reasons, yeah?
Okay.
So from a captaincy point of view, he's obviously led Leicester to a Prem final and a Prem win. And he's been vice-captain under 2 head coaches now. So I think he was the vice captain under Eddie, wasn't he? And I think he's also been vice captain along with Laws under Steve Borthwick. I take your point about he hasn't performed very well. I saw glimmers of him coming back to some form when Bristol played Gloucester last weekend. But let's do this. Out of those three players, if you could only choose from those three players, who would be your captain? And accepting you can't choose Curry because he's injured.
Genge. You'd pick Genge.
All right. Okay. So I think that's the
gun
right
to the
answer.
head situation there, I felt.
Yeah.
But again.
But I'm going to give you some more options now. Yeah. Genge is up there on the shelf.
That's exciting.
That is exciting. So
get me away from Genge. Put him over there.
He's over there. He's minding his own business, doing his stuff. Right. Next three players. Lewis Ludlam, who, whilst he hasn't been always a regular in the England side, he is at least a club captain at Saints. And whenever he does perform or gets to play for England, I always think he performs and gives 100% and really is normally one of the standout players just from an effort point of view.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the experience of George Ford, who's up around 85 caps now, I think. And obviously a leader on the pitch when he's playing fly half.
That's a massive call, though.
Yeah. And then the final one I've got in this bucket is Danny Kerr. Because obviously Danny's been round the block multiple times. Never really been much of a captain for Quins, I don't think. I don't think he's ever performed that role, or once or twice. But I just think his experience and his enthusiasm and love for the game might carry through a Six Nations. So,
do you know what?
Debate those three. Danny
is ringing bells for me.
Okay.
I'm loving the sound of that. Ding-a-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling. Yeah, no, I feel Ludlam isn't getting in the team, so he can't be captain. There are just better players in that position, and I think he is a great impact player. So he's not getting on. Sorry, the second choice was
Georgie Ford.
Georgie Ford. I feel, and this is less so a statement on George Ford's quality. I think this is more a statement of his heart and mental health. Can't pick him as captain, because you pick him as captain, the dude will get rocket fireworks up his ass, shooting him into the atmosphere. He'll be elated. And then what happens when Farrell comes back? Oh, he's third choice fly half again.
Yeah.
Like it's abuse. It's almost borderline abuse. And as well, being at Borthwick, the guy who won in the league, he'll be like, "Father?" And he's going to get stomped down next tournament. Like, we've already got one guy stepping out for his own mental health. We can't have another.
Okay.
And I sound like I'm joking, but somewhat I mean that. Like, because
he'd be in the shadows again, wouldn't he?
You can't be like, "Hey, you're runner up, but we want you to be the front man," while the front man is taking a holiday. Like, and obviously that's a very controversial way of saying it, but that is kind of what's happening. And I think it's unfair to put that on George, because George is a fantastic player, and in probably, I think, 80% of nations, he would be first choice fly half, without any question.
Yeah,
but he just
quality player.
Yeah, and I also, maybe this is slightly going off topic here, and maybe we can come back to this topic, but I want to know what you think. Who should actually be the fly half for the tournament?
Oh, I'm going to answer that one in a minute. Yeah.
And I think what I'm going to say would also be a bit of a heartbreak for Ford. So no.
So you're ruling Ford out. Ford's out.
I want Ford protected. I want to protect Ford. I think Danny.
Okay.
Again, question whether he's going to be starting. Maybe he's vice captain. But I agree. He's got the determination. He's got the experience. He has been there enough. I also think he has worked to get back. He's proven himself to be the best.
Amazing.
And it's not. And obviously, he wasn't Van der Poort. Had to
Van Poorfleet, maybe.
Yeah. We don't need to know his name, because he's not number one.
VP.
He's not VP. He's not number one. So VP's been.
He's not even
out.
number 5 in my eyes. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Same here. But the fact that he still fought his way through, I think it's a perfect choice for me. I think
Yeah.
that because as well, it'll probably be Danny's last tournament or maybe second from last tournament. I think it's a really enriching and rewarding experience for him. He would work for it.
I think so.
He would work for it because he'd be like, "Oh my god, I missed the last tournament, World Cup. I'm now got in the World Cup. I got to a semi. I
Yeah.
won third, and now I get to captain this. I'm going to give everything." Because he also knows, as I said, last one.
Right. So that sounds like a bit of a ringing endorsement for Danny from you, then, yeah.
I'm ding 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 ding
All
ding
right.
ding 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 ding.
So
That's Danny for me. I think
Yeah.
the last comment is, I feel that we just want someone to step in and hold the fort down whilst Farrell's away. I don't think we want anyone who's rocking the boat for Farrell, because I think once Farrell comes back, we have to decide whether he is there for the long term or because of this, he's now a backseat. But I
Yeah.
don't think having someone come in and being the top dog again, I feel like that disrupts things and doesn't allow everything to have a natural decision be made fluidly.
Yeah, no, that they were all great points, absolutely great points. I mean, the other thing with Danny Care, I mean, you're absolutely right, is tenacity to keep working and to keep getting back in the squad, no matter how many disappointments he's had over the years, is amazing. Also, I think he is a leader because he's willing to really push his point, which is one of the reasons why he dropped out of favour with Eddie, because he would actually question what Eddie was doing. And I think you're right; he is the perfect foil to fit in as I guess, a make weight whilst Farrell's off. And we don't know if Farrell will ever properly come back. But I think, yeah. So of those three, I actually agree with you. So we've got a begrudging Ellis Genge that we agree with out of the top tier. We've then got a ringing endorsement for Danny Care in the second tier.
Ding a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding.
Have you got anybody else you want to throw their hats into the ring for this?
I don't think there's anyone else who could. You could argue a Toji, but I wouldn't put that argument out there.
No, I wouldn't. I deliberately left him on off my list.
Yeah, and it's only because I feel like keep him good at what he's good at. I don't want him to murky his water. Just be one of the best second rows there is out there, and that's it. Just keep plowing away.
Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. All right, then. So before I ask you to make a decision between Ellis and Danny, let me throw my left field one in there.
Oh, we haven't had the left field.
We haven't had it yet.
Oh, this is exciting.
And this makes really throws the cat amongst the pigeon here, right? So before I tell you who the player is, who do you think over the last 2 to 3 to maybe 4 seasons, whilst playing in a relatively crap side, has been the standout scrum half in England?
You're not.
I might be.
You're not.
Who's in your mind?
Well, there's two. You're saying scrum half?
I'm saying it's a scrum half, yeah.
So I'm either thinking you're saying two individuals. Oh, I know who you're actually saying. I thought you was going to say Mitchell or Randall, but you're saying Spencer.
No, neither.
You're saying Spencer.
Saying Ben Spencer.
You're saying Spencer.
I'm saying Ben Spencer. And I'll tell you why. Because he has been absolutely consistent. Oh, he was consistent when he played at Saracens, and he's been consistent in a bad Bath team for like 4 years.
And he is shining now.
Yeah. His kicking game is great, which suits what Borthwick wants. His sniping game is great, and he's got real pace as well.
He is really young Danny, isn't he? He is young Danny Care.
He is young Danny, albeit he's not that young. I think he's in his 30s now. But also, he is club captain at Bath. So he's got the experience of being a captain. He's also got the experience of captaining quite a few big players. So if you think about Bath, although they've not performed over the last few years, they've always had a kind of killer squad, haven't they? Loads of big stars. He's captaining Finn Russell at the moment. So I just wonder whether there's a person to be considered in the mix. So what do you make of that then?
I think VP, I think Mitchell, and I think probably Care have to all be injured.
What, for him to get in the sky?
Yeah.
Forget what? Yeah.
I don't see Borthwick making the right call with the scrum half again.
No.
I don't think he's getting the squad. I think he's quietly a great choice. I do agree. And I would put him over Genge. Because I think he has more traits that would suit England in their current position right now. Because I think Genge is very much like a warrior, like kind of he'll really rally the troops together and gear them up. But if anything, I think we want to be calm and build right now. We don't want to be like pure aggressive animals. We're not like Ireland or France right now, where we have some hurt in us because of the World Cup. We're quietly happy with what happened in the World Cup, and we want to build. So we wanted someone who's going to quietly, slowly filter us upwards, rather than someone who's going to be like, just get all that kind of brittle burn and hurt out of us and just bring it into every game and dog it out. So I realistically, it ain't happening, mate. It ain't happening. But
I think it should happen. But yeah, no, I think you're right. I think Borthwick is missing a trick there, because he has just been on fire.
If he doesn't look at him this Six Nations, he's never looking at him.
Yeah, he's going to time out age-wise, isn't he?
And especially, and this could be a good segue, especially with the fact that he is doing some beautiful link-up work with the likes of, nearly said Hodge, Finn Russell. Nearly said
both Scottish. You're close enough. Yeah.
Oh well, no, I was literally going to say I think there's some beautiful link-up play between them, and I think that who is a similar player as Finn Russell, not completely but similar, and I think that could be some beautiful link-up play between Ben and Marcus.
Oh yeah, that's a good thought.
Yeah,
that is a good thought. So let's talk fly halves in a minute, right? Let's sort out this England captain.
I want it now, man.
You can't have it now. You have to be patient. You have to be patient, like when you're watching England. You know, give it 8, 10, 12 games. It will come right eventually. So you're ruling out my left field option of Ben Spencer. So we're back down to Danny Kerr or Ellis Genge. And you've got to pick a player right now, and you've got to pick 2 vice captains. Who are you going for?
2 vice captains. I'm going Danny, and I'm picking Tom.
Danny
as
captain, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so Tom again. So you can't have Tom because he's injured. I'm talking about the Six Nations here. So Danny as captain, Genge as vice captain. Who's your other vice captain?
Can I not?
Can you not? I suppose. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about opinion. You don't have to.
I don't. I wouldn't want anyone else getting their mitts on it.
Okay.